Mission Rashi, Torah portion, Netzavim Vayeilich. We are in the sixth portion. Very short
but important.
teaching today.
Not very nice opening. Opening one. Behold, these are pollution, you'll die.
Yes. The last mitzvah is in today's portion. Okay. Chapter 31, verse 14. Vayomer Hashem, and Hashem said, El Moshe to Moshe, Hein karvu yamecha, behold, your days have approached, Lamus to die. Tra es Yeshua, call to Joshua, to Joshua, V'yisyatz v'oyel, and have him stand in the tent, Moyed of meeting, that's Avenu, and I will command him. Vayeilich Moshe, and Moshe went. Yeshua Yisatzei Ba'il Mayed. And your so Yelech. Vayelech Moshe, and he went, Moshe and Yeshua, Yisatzei, and they stood in the Oil Mayed. Rashi Tzavenu, Azar Zenu. What do you mean I will command him? I will like urge him on. Right? He needs encouragement. Every leader needs encouragement. That's all we're talking about, everyone. Well, yeah, everyone's a leader then. Yar Hashem. And Hashem appeared by Almighty in the Almighty in the tent of meeting, Anan, in a cloud. V'yamid Amid Ha'anan, and it stood there, the cloud of pillars, Al Pesach Almighty, at the entrance of the oil, actually the tent doesn't say Almighty. V'yemer Hashem, El Moshe. And here, and Hashem said to Moshe, Incha, you are, behold, Sheikh going to lie im avasecha. It's interesting with your forefathers. I don't know why he says with your forefathers. He's not being buried with his forefathers. They're in Chevron, right? Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov are in Chevron. So it's interesting. He says that. Rashi doesn't pick up on it. Become ha'amazeh, and what's going to happen? I guess you're going to lie, meaning that you're going to pass away like your forefathers did, I guess. Not literally, right? Not literally in place, but in the idea that you're going to pass away. Become Amazeh, and they will arise this nation, Vizona Achrei Elokei Nechar, Haaretz. And Vizona, they will stray after foreign gods of the land. Asher hu ba'shama, that he is coming there, that the nation is coming there. Bikir boy, that is in their midst. V'azavani, and they will leave me as a result, right? They will forsake me. And they will violate my covenant, Asher karati itai, that I have made with them. Rashi, nechar haaretz goya, it means the people of the land, nations of the land. 17. V'chara api boy, and my anger will rage in them, in him. It's actually boy, it's not bum, it's boy in him, meaning the nation, right? Vayomahu, on that day, v'azavtim, and I will abandon them, v'histarti, and I will conceal, hide, ponai, my face, mayhem. What does it mean, my face? Well, Rashi is going to say, Chasidus means my inwardness. V'hayalechol umatzu ra'is, rabbits v'tzoris. V'hayalechol, and they will be consumed. Lechol means to eat. When you eat, you consume the food, right? So they will be consumed.
Who is them?
Jewish people,
Okay.
right? Because they're the ones who are forsaking God. And Matzuros, and they will be found with many evils and many troubles, many evils and troubles. And we'll say on that day, Halai ki ein elakai bikirbi. So what are the Jews going to respond? That God's not amongst me. And that's why these evils have befallen me. Right? Because God is not with us, so that's why these evils have befallen. Rashi in 17, Histarti panai, I hide my face. What does it mean, hide my face? It means I'm not going to see their distress and come to help them. V'anechi hastir astir, and I will hide. I will hide. In other words, surely hide. And it's a double, said redundantly to bring the emphasis. Panai, my face. Vayomahu, on that day. I'll call hara, on all of the evil asher also that he did, meaning they did, the Jewish people. Kifana el elikim achim, because they turned to other deities. Wow.
Roman 31.
All right. Last verse, Vatakis Filachem, and now you shall write for yours. Sashir Razais, this song, which refers to the Torah, Velamda, and you shall learn it, as Bnei Israel to the children of Israel, Besima Befihim, and you shall place it in their mouth. Lamanti Eli, Hashir Razais, Le Aid B'Bnei Yisrael, in order that this song should be a witness for the children of Israel. Should be a witness. Rashi, Ashir Azais, Hazino Shamaim Ad Chiper Ad Mose Amoy. So Rashi learns that it means from the passage of Azinu until, right, not this parsha, the next parsha. Interesting. Because next parsha is Hazinu, which is a song. So that song, right, until the end of the song, is what he's making reference to, what Rashi says. Yeah. Others learn that it's means the entire Torah. The Sikha from the Rebbe on this. And that's it. Let's see the Rebbe's commentary. Yes.
Where you said was that is a poet, it means him.
Verse 17, which word? Yeah. Bo means in him. Ba means in them. Ba means in her.
So why is him and then most of that? What's the significance in the differentiation between the two?
So Rashi's not picking up on it. The only thing that makes sense is that it's a singular nation, right? The nation's singular. The people are them. But he.
But sometimes I see the nation being described as she as well.
Yeah, all different.
And it's depends as to when it reads him.
In simple meaning, I don't know if what the significance is and if Rashi picks up on it. Doesn't seem necessarily picks up on it. There's definitely a deeper meaning behind it in that would be either Hasidus or the hinted meaning and so on, right? But on the simple level, I think it's interchangeable and it's based on maybe the rest of the grammar of the verse on simple meaning at least. Yeah, good question. Okay, let's see.
Ooh. What was that?
Put it up. Oh, 1 second. Okay, I thought. So not over here. So in the Sikha this week, so yesterday we had Hakel, the mitzvah of Hakel, right? The gathering in the first of the 7-year sabbatical, the 8th year, right? As it's called also. As we explained yesterday, right? That why is it at the beginning of the news cycles? Because you came from a whole year, sabbatical year, where you were sitting and learning and davening and more concentrated on your spirit, the spiritual and your connection to Hashem, and not on work. Now you're going to go back to work, right? And then it comes to the last mitzvah of which we said today, and now you shall write this Torah, this song, and teach it to the Bnei Yisrael. So these two mitzvahs, Hakel and the writing of a Sefer Torah, last two mitzvahs, they are the seal and the finale of Torah, as far as mitzvahs, right? Why? Because these two mitzvahs are kind of symbolic of the novelty that happened at Mount Sinai 40 years ago when the Torah was given. Hakel, as the Rambam says, that we have to prepare our hearts to listen with our ears, to hear with trepidation, with awe, right? And on Hakel, as if it's the day that God gave the Torah. And writing the Sefer Torah, as our sages say, is as if you received the Torah Mount Sinai when you write a Sefer Torah. That's what our sages say. You follow the correlation between the two of them? Hello. Am I speaking to anybody here? Myself. All right. At least I'll learn.
Silent sunset.
That was a rhetorical question.
You think?
So both of them bring out the idea of Sinai. Hakel is God revealing himself as God revealed himself at Sinai to everyone, so everyone is there. The Torah, writing a Sefer Torah, is as if you received it at Sinai. Together with this, also each one has its unique distinction. Hakel is something congregational, right? Bringing the entire nation together. Writing of a Torah is individual. to every individual uniquely that has the mitzvah to write a Torah. So what does this mean? Before Matan Torah, it was known that the Jewish people, they said, Netzavim Ishma. They said, we will do, and then we will listen, right? And this is sort of what makes up the giving of the Torah, that we will accept the mitzvahs of the Torah, and we will fulfill them. And then we will listen, in other words, hear them, that in order to learn it and to understand it. Right? So two things, right? Acceptance and then learning to understand. That's what Netzavim Ishma is. So this is then these two distinctions.
Sorry to interrupt, but that last one again, can you just quote it?
The Jews said Netzavim Ishma, right? So that's the acceptance of mitzvahs, and then that we will learn to understand, right? Those 2 points, right? So those two distinctions are a distinction between the individual and the congregation. Fulfillment of the mitzvahs are equal between everybody, right? Shabbos is coming. There's no distinction in the observance of Shabbos, right? Everybody has to fulfill it, all of Jews, right? The learning of Torah, on the other hand, is more individual. There's everybody according to their capability and according to the talent that they have will be what they're obliged in study of Torah. So that's the difference between Hakel and the writing of the Torah. Last two mitzvahs, right? Hakel comes from the novelty of receiving the Torah and more in reference to the fulfillment of mitzvahs. Therefore, the mitzvah was given in a congregation, in other words, to bring the congregation together, bring men, women, and children together, because the obligation is collective, because everybody has the obligation, right? On the other hand, when it comes to writing the Sefer Torah, the uniqueness of that is about accepting Torah to learn it, to understand it. And in that is uniquely individual, because every person is unique in their capacity, their understanding, and therefore, to what degree and they have an obligation. So therefore, that's uniquely individual. Okay? So God says, I'm going to conceal myself, right? Hastir, astir. So there's a remez over here, a hint. Even in the hiddenness, hastir, astir, that we don't see godliness in the world, is still there. Anoichi. God is still there. Because it says Anoichi, right? In other words, didn't say Hashem is there in the hiddenness. It says Anoichi, beyond the name. In other words, the core essence of God has not been removed. God is there. The godliness we are not privy to. but the Anochi, the I of God, is in fact there.
How do you spell
Anochi.
That's Egyptian, I.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because Egypt is the ultimate in concealment, and the verse over here is speaking about concealment, right? In that concealment, the eye of God is there. Not just the name of God, right? Hashem, Elokeinu, Kale, whatever name, but the core essence of God is there.
Sounds like Bitachon.
Well, that is our bitachon. That is our bitachon. Exactly. Exactly. Exactement.
We're just back.
So the last verse from today was, right? And now you shall write this Torah, or this song rather, right? And learn it. So the Rambam learns differently than Rashi. Rambam remembers halacha. It's not the simple meaning of the text, right? So he's learning it from a halachic point of view. What is this verse telling us? Is it telling us to write? It's a mitzvah, right? So it's not telling us to write hazinu merely. So it's telling us to write the entire Torah. The entire Torah, it's telling us, right? Is that clear? No, Rashi didn't say. It said no. You only that the Shira Hazois is Hazinu, right? But he says it's a positive commandment on every single Jewish man to write a Sefer Torah for himself, as it says in the verse that you should write for yourself. It's Shira Hazois. In other words, write, and so he learns, write this Torah that has in it this song. A Torah that has this song in it. That's the way he learns those words. Not like Rashi. Right? So after the Bnei Israel heard from Moshe on the day that he passed, the mitzvah of writing the Torah, this Torah, right? Which is a commandment, as Rambam learns, for every single Jew to write. So it would be understood that it's incumbent upon them to fulfill this mitzvah. He just gave this mitzvah, so what do they have to do now? Fulfill the mitzvah. Correct? That's what it would seem, right? Well, if you're getting commanded now and you have the opportunity, so you do it now, right? Except it's not possible that everybody at the same time can write. Okay?
Especially as they are about to enter the land.
600,000, Sefer Torahs, right? You would need a lot of labor intensive, right? Right, it will be, the parchment, the ink, everything, the writing, the expertise in the writing, and so on. But where do we see that they fulfilled this mitzvah? No, writing a Torah. This is according to Rambam, right? Let's understand. Rambam says it's a positive commandment for every person to write a Sefer Torah. Where do we see that the Jewish people went ahead to fulfill this mitzvah? Right? Follow the question?
Yeah, so I'm getting person, yeah.
right?
But where?
Even starting the mitzvah, right? Even to begin, we don't see that, right? So if so, we studied this Sunday night in the class. So the answer is we have to understand what is the mitzvah, what's the parameter of this mitzvah of writing a Sefer Torah. And it's based on a Sefer Torah that is the public Sefer Torah. A public Sefer Torah is made on the condition that its writing is done by commission for the sake of the congregation, right? For the community, right? Therefore, anytime that someone comes and gets an aliyah to the Torah, in that moment you've made the acquisition of that Torah. You have a portion of that Torah, you made the acquisition of it at that moment. You have to, it says you have to own a Torah, right? You have to write a Torah. So you own it in the aliyah that you have, that you're making acquisition of that Torah that was written originally on condition that you fulfill the mitzvah of writing a Torah. Is that clear? And with this, then we can understand that the Jewish people, yesterday we learned that Moshe Rabbeinu told each tribe that a Torah should be written for each tribe. There were actually 13 Torahs for the 12 tribes and one general one. So these Sefer Torahs were written on commission, meaning as agents for every single Jew of every single tribe. That any time that any person will learn from it, they acquire the Sefer Torah in its entirety as if it's theirs totally. And therefore you fulfill the mitzvah. He gives an example in the Sikha. We learned this, that like lulav and esrog, right? Lulav and esrog has to be also lechem, has to be yours. And back in the day, the communities had only one lulav and esrog. People couldn't afford it. You couldn't get it. It was so difficult. So they had one for the entire community, but it has to be yours. So it's yours. You know, that's why on the first day of Sukkot, when you give your lulav and esrog to someone to fulfill the mitzvah, you have to say it's yours on condition you give it back. So while you make the bracha, it's yours. Belongs to you. Okay, afterwards you have to give it back. But in the moment that you did it, it belonged to you. So the same thing, same idea is over here. The Sefer Torah is a mitzvah that you have to fulfill. When you have that aliyah, right? At that moment, you acquire the Torah as yours. And that's what happened with Moshe Rabbeinu also, right? He commanded now this last mitzvah that it should be fulfilled. How do we see it was done? Well, it's because for each tribe, they had their Torah. So whenever you learned with it, or if you had an aliyah to the Torah, you owned the Torah in that moment. It became yours. Got it? All right. Amazing. See you.